The key turned in the lock with a quiet click, a sound that once meant safety. But not tonight. Tonight it felt like the first warning of a storm. Stepped inside the house we had built together, a place that used to be our refuge. Now it seemed strange, poisoned. The air carried her perfume, a floral scent that once enchanted me. Now it was nothing but a cruel reminder of the life thought we shared. Honey, is that you? Her voice drifted from the kitchen, gentle and melodic, the same voice that had whispered promises of forever. Same voice I now knew had been nothing but a polished illusion. I walked in to see her at the counter stirring something in a bowl, the picture of domestic grace. Her blonde hair was tied into a loose bun, a few strands falling to frame her face in that effortless way I used to admire. She wore a plain t-shirt and yoga pants, clothes I had always found comforting. She turned, smiling warmly, her eyes soft, her demeanor untouched by the truth I carried like a stone in my chest. Hey, how was work? She asked as if nothing was wrong. It was fine, I replied, forcing smile. My face resisted the lie, but I couldn't let her see. Not yet. She had to believe everything was still the same. I'm going to shower and change, I said, carefully measured. Then I'll come help with dinner. Sounds good, she answered, humming softly as she turned back to her task. She looked so at ease, so free of guilt, moving with the same grace I once adored. If I didn't know better, I could have believed she was still the woman I loved. But I did know better. Upstairs, I stripped off my clothes, the weight of the past few days pressing down on me. The shower's hot water struck my skin, but it couldn't wash away the betrayal rooted inside me. I felt like a stranger in my own life, a guest in the home we had built. It had been 3 days since I found it. Crumpled receipt buried deep in the pocket of her favorite coat, the one I gave her last Christmas. First it looked ordinary, just another slip of paper. Then I saw the name, a name that wasn't mine, and the date recent too. Recent, the same day she claimed she was at a yoga retreat. My stomach had burned. Since the evidence was clear, yet I hadn't confronted her. I hadn't screamed. Instead, I waited, gathered my thoughts, made a plan. This wasn't just infidelity. It was deception. The foundation of our marriage shattered in an instant. After the shower, I pulled on my old sweatpants and t-shirt, my usual weekend clothes. As I walked downstairs, each step strengthened the resolve inside me. Had set the table. Small vase with a single rose stood in the center. Gesture I once found sweet. You smell good, she said, her smile steady as I sat down. The same smile I'd seen for years. A smile that had once made me feel loved. Now I saw it for what it was, a weapon, sharp and deliberate. Breathed in deeply, bracing myself. Dinner smells great, honey, I said, evenly. But before we eat, I need to grab something from the safe. She didn't flinch. Sure, go ahead. He turned back to the stove, unaware of the shift about to break her world apart. I entered the den, my pulse pounding. The safe was hidden behind a photo of us, our honeymoon, when I still believed in forever. My fingers lingered on the frame, my throat tight. Then I pulled it aside, exposing the truth waiting there. I turned the dial, muscle memory guiding me. Code that once meant trust. Now it only revealed lies. The door opened with click. My hand closed around a small velvet box. It felt heavier than it should, weighed down by years of betrayal. With it in hand, I walked back into the kitchen. Sarah stood at the stove, stirring as if nothing had changed, playing the role she had always mastered. Cleared my throat. turned quickly, her eyes searching mine. A flicker of unease crossing them. "What is that?" she asked, voice too casual, strained with the fear of someone with everything to lose. Held out the box. "This," I said. She frowned, taking it from me, confusion clouding her face. "Did you buy me a necklace?" She flipped open. Inside lay the laminated receipt. From the hotel, pressed against black velvet, undeniable. Beside it sat a silver charm, a heart engraved with an initial belonging to neither of us, and a folded photograph, her kissing another. When a moment never meant for my eyes. The color drained from her face. Her fingers shook as she held the box, the truth sinking in. Her lips parted, but no words came. Only silence. Heavy, choking. Filled with everything she could never. "I think this explains enough," I said, my voice calm, cold, unshakable. "I just wanted to make sure you knew that I know." A broken sound caught in her throat. She tried to speak. She tried to form an excuse, but the words collapsed on her tongue. "I don't," she stammered. "Don't what?" I cut in, my voice sharp, slicing through the silence like a blade. "Don't know what to say. Don't know how to spin it into another lie." A bitter laugh slipped from me. "The act was convincing, Sarah. Very convincing. I almost believed you were still the woman I married." I let the last word hang in the air, hollow, stripped of its meaning. Her eyes shimmered with tears. She fought to hold back. "Please," she whispered. "Let me explain." "Explain what?" My tone dropped low and dangerous. "Explain how you managed to lie to my face every single day. Explain the hotel receipt. Explain him." Gestured at the photograph, a cruel smirk curling my lips. "It's not what you think," she breathed, barely audible. "Oh, I think it is." I tilted my head, studying her. "For the first time I see you exactly as you are." She stepped toward me, reaching out. I moved back, the gap between us more than just space. "Don't," I said coldly. "Don't touch me." She froze, her face breaking apart as tears spilled freely. But I felt nothing. No fury, no sorrow. Only a hollow ache. The emptiness that comes with realizing you've lost something that never truly existed. Her voice trembled. What are you going to do?" I raised an eyebrow, weighing her for a long moment. Then wordlessly I picked up the velvet box and snapped it shut. The sound was final, louder than any fight could have been. "I'm going to eat dinner," I said evenly. "Then I'm going to bed. You, however, are going to pack your things and leave." Her breath caught. "Leave," she echoed, as though the word were foreign. "But where am I supposed to go?" "That's not my concern," I answered, my tone flat, stripped of all emotion. "You made your choices, Sarah. Now live with them somewhere else." I turned away, walking to the dining table. I picked up my fork with slow, deliberate calm. The smell of food filled the air, but it was meaningless. The bite I took was mechanical, detached. Behind me she stood motionless, broken, except for the faint, shattered sounds of her crying. When I finished, I carried my dishes to the sink, rinsing them with the same calm indifference I had carried all. But she still hadn't moved, frozen in place, clutching the velvet box as if it held salvation. An hour later, the front door shut with a quiet final thud. I changed the locks, and for the first time in a long time, could breathe. The storm had passed. The wreckage remained, but I was still standing, and I would rebuild not with her but without her, and that, I realized, was all that truly mattered.